Hey, good morning, everyone. Right there at the last second, I had some stuff to do, like get set up here. I'm not sure what was going on with that, but hey, welcome to another Thursday and an episode of Ken vs. 10. I'm Ken, SSKPromo, Mr. Bill, El Luchadork, my wrestling persona, and I'm going to take on my death pile this week once again, listing, 10 items. Actually, I'm listing more items today because I'm going to do something a little bit different in the show today, but welcome to everyone that is coming in. Let me get my comments over here where my eyeballs can see them. Good morning to Ping G is here first, up and at 'em early this morning. And Shanna is here, simply shenanigans. Good morning to you, my friend. And so recapping last week, I think I got blanked. I don't think I sold any of those relisted electronics. At least I don't remember. I should change up the show and like have my challenge go a little bit longer because I think 2 weeks ago I listed some newer electronic stuff. Well, not new electronics, but different vintage electronics that I had picked up at sales and such. And man, those sold really well this over the last kind of couple weeks. After my challenge was over, then I started to sell all of those electronics. So I'll take the sales whenever. Of course, I get, says I didn't sell any of those things from last week, which kind of lets me know I was relisting electronics that had been in my death pile for quite a while, or not in my death pile. They were in my inventory, in my listed inventory, and I pulled them down and checked all of the listings and such, and redid some pricing and things, and that kind of lets me know that maybe I really need to look at that pricing a little bit closer, or there might just be items that are not going to move, or they're actually pretty long tail at this point. Some of them, some are, some are not, but just got to wait for that right buyer to come along. So I'll look at that. And there is my mother. Good morning, Ken, on this gloomy day, but Ken will brighten it up for sure. Excellent. There's my mom and pop next door watching the show. And I was just over there just like a few minutes ago. That's probably why I was running late. Getting back over. I get the show prepped and everything. I'm ready to go. And then all of a sudden, like at the last second, well, one of the problems is the clock in my bathroom is slow. I need to either put a new battery in it or get the time up, because like one of the last things that I do before I do the show, go to the restroom real quick so that I can spend time here and not have to excuse myself right in the middle of a live show. And that clock is slow, and I look, it's like, oh, I got another 5 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden I come back in here and it's like, oh, it's showtime, it says on the StreamYard, and it's like, uh-oh, I'm not ready. So, but good morning to everyone that's watching and coming in the room. I appreciate it. So, today, if you saw the thumbnail, I am going to be, and this is actually another kind of a relisting thing. I'm going to relist some wrestling action figures that I have. A lot of these have been sitting around for a little bit, and we'll discuss those, where I got them and what I'm going to do with them here in just a few minutes. We'll see if some folks pop in the chat. How's everybody else's sales going? What do I keep pushing these buttons. I don't know why do I have all these windows open on my computer? I don't know. Got all this junk up here. I'm trying to find the pages that I need. And I've got tabs open every place. It's just kooky. So anyway, that's what I got going on today is relisting some items, but I am also I've discounted a lot of them, and I am going to set up a sale on the items. Now, I don't know how many of you that are resellers out there are doing that run sales. Do you run a regular sale all the time? Do you run sales periodically? And we'll kind of cover that a little bit as well. And there is Josh, the Bama Jaybird resell. I just finished watching the new episode while I was getting ready of the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast. Second episode for Josh on there. Shouldn't you be getting ready to travel to Omaha? Bama Jaybird is going to the Plains to Profits meetup. Oh, there he is, a little over halfway to Omaha, going through Springfield, Missouri right now. Well, cool. I'm glad you checked in. Be safe. Be safe. You shouldn't text while driving, my friend. We'll just know you're there in the background. But yeah, that sounds like a fun event. The Plains to Profit is going on this weekend in Omaha, Nebraska. That's a Midwest meetup event put on by Corey over at Grams and Pops, Corey and Teresa at Grams and Pops, Alicia Ink Picker, and Happy and Grumpy, Kyle and Lori from Happy Picker and Grumpy Picker. And oh, cool, the wife is driving. Excellent. So you can chat the whole time. And there's hi all and Ken from Jill. And she is saying, have fun. Yeah, I've got, right here to remind me, I got my FOMO sign about, that I look over there and go, I should be at these meetups and such. And speaking of that, I guess I was talking about, I just got done watching the new Two Old Guys Reselling podcast. They are doing a live show tomorrow evening. On the Two Old Guys Reselling channel. It is a live show, and they're doing a crossover. They've got the guys on from the Reseller Locker Room podcast are going to be on there with them live. They've got some big announcements about the Pickin' the Plateau meetup. That's during like the 127 sales in August, I believe that those sales are. And so make sure to find here. I think I have, it was one of the windows that I had opened up. I'm going to throw that link in there. That is to go watch that Two Old Guys and the Reseller Locker Room podcast. They're live, that's on tomorrow night. So I'm interested to see about that. And I also watched some this morning, the Locker Room podcast. Go check out their latest episode as well. Is they had a big announcement. I don't like to give spoilers of other people's content. Go watch their content and see what their big news was over there. And so anyway, how's your day going, Jill? Oh, yeah, Jill says, hiya, Jill, and the Nance. Hello, Nancy, if you are one of the ones that are viewing right now live. Good to have you here. So I am going to, on this episode, I am going to relist some wrestling action figures, which isn't the most exciting, and I'm probably going to get whipped again on Ken versus 10 show. But some of my thought processes for doing this is, number one, going through inventory, really taking a look at it, and ending and doing a sell similar, so it gets that fresh new look, that fresh peek on it, updates the ID number in eBay, and such. And here's Roman. If Ken battles his death pile today, he will drive to Nebraska also. Yeah, if I beat my death pile, well, these items are not high dollar items, and I'll talk about that. But I probably wouldn't have enough for the trip to Omaha. But uh, I should, I should be there. I should be going. I'm pained, truly pained about it. But one has to live, within their means and make good choices with their money expenditures, and that's what I am. That's what I'm doing. So these wrestling figures that I have are, um, I'll show a few of them, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. I have some uh, crossover ones. Not crossover. What do I mean? Like duplicates. That's what I mean. They're not crossing over anything. They're duplicate ones. Um, like for example, here's, I've got some, and maybe I'll take an opinion too. I'm gonna list them like this, but uh some Steve Austin, some Stone Cold Steve Austin right there. And that is a uh which one is this? That's a 1999. So that's a vintage one right there. The Jack's Pacific Titantron. It's got those little like conductors on the bottom right there, that if you had one of like the Titantron wrestling rings, um, you would bring them out and you put them on there and they'd say stuff and play music and that sort of junk. And then here's another one. Got the leather jacket on, the rattlesnake right there. 1996 Jack's Pacific Stone Cold Steve Austin. Um, so those are where I got a lot of these. And let me see uh yeah, it's so rainy in Cleveland and dark today that I think it is already solar eclipse today. Yeah. Oh man, Cleveland, you've got a really good view. So do we. When the solar eclipse comes up in April, I think it's like April the 8th. My city right here in Marion, Ohio, we are really close to that center line. We will get a good amount of viewing time. It's like a little over 3 minutes, which I'm not sure why you need to stare at the sun for more than 3 minutes. Because pretty much, I think you would, at the eclipse, you would kind of look up and there's the eclipse and you go, that's pretty cool. But it's not often you get to see them or that they come over our area. And Cleveland area where Roman is at, it is the center line is almost like right through Cleveland. So he's going to get 4 minutes and something of view time. Why, yes, hello, chat and panel, sneaking in to say hello and light up that thumbs up. As always, Patrick Murphy dropping in, hitting that thumbs up. I would appreciate the thumbs up as well. Yes, wear your eclipse glasses for sure. If you are going to go out and stare at the sun, everybody's mother told them that as a little kid. Don't stare at the sun. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, so today feels like football season, Roman. Paul's telling, yeah, it's just cold. It's almost like a fall, rainy, cold day. It's just gray, but some nice weather is on the way. Browns already started the season today. Yeah. Fall is back. Roman is already wearing his glasses. He's already sitting there. He has his glasses on. He's watching, because I'm so bright. I'm so bright and cheerful. Don't stare directly at me either. Just like the sun, try not to stare directly at Ken. That yeah, 4 minutes for Roman is quite a long time. I may have to wear a diaper for those 4 minutes. Too bad I didn't buy the return glasses from the last eclipse, to see it this time around. Yeah, that's a hot product that's out there right now, is solar eclipse glasses. I heard them say on the news, don't wait too long to get them, because right at the last minute they're going to be sold out. Everybody's going to be looking for them. there's a lot of events and stuff going on around our area just because of that that path of the solar eclipse and the amount of view time that you get. Um, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. What day is April the 8th? Let me look at the calendar here. Oh, April 8th is a Monday. I know they're like closing schools around here and such. I think that's the right day. Oh, it's too bad it didn't happen on a Ken versus 10 day on a Thursday. Could have a special eclipse episode. Um, Roman's going to wear 3D glasses. If you wear 3D glasses to watch the eclipse, so get all the special effects. Yes. And then you'll need probably prescription glasses or one of those, walking canes, those red tip, that the blind folks use. Uh, please say you were joking. we know Roman's not serious about anything. We know enjoyed Roman's show on Saturday. Every Saturday night, you can watch Roman live. Hopefully, Alicia, the ink picker, is feeling that she got to feeling better because she's part of that Planes to Profit event. She had to bow out of last week's episode with Roman due to feeling under the weather. And but Anthony, Dragon Master Fines, I think, stepped in, and it was a good show with Anthony. And no, I meant the mad rush on glasses. No, that's what my news said, that there'll be a mad rush on the glasses right towards the end. Don't wait to get them. Yeah, ABC Matt. ABC Matt is a really cool dude. I got to meet Matt out in Vegas at a meetup that I was at there. So that'll be a really, really good show. He puts out good content. So I'm looking forward to seeing Matt on Roman's show. Anytime Picker. Go find his channel, Anytime Picker. And Saturday night at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I think, on Saturday nights. I don't know. I just get the notification. I'm like, oh yeah, Roman's on. We took the whole school out to watch the last one in Alabama. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited. After Alicia, okay, so you got ABC Matt this week, and then you got Alicia the Ink Picker, and then you got Travis Kelsey is the following week. He's just going to be there screaming at Andy Reid the whole time. Yeah, ABC Matt is a great guy. It's 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, just depends on your time zone. This is true. And Roman, you should start reading the comments at 7 o'clock, so you'll be caught up by 8 o'clock when the show actually starts. I was saying last week, I was joking around. It's like, I think I'm going to start doing a post Roman live show, post Anytime Picker live show, and I'll just leave the comments up, and I will just go ahead and read all the comments for Roman that he didn't get to during his show. And then that'll just be, how entertaining would that be? Me just reading all of Roman's comments. And then, I'll comment on, maybe I can bring his guest like over to my show, and then we can discuss what people wanted to talk about that Roman missed in the comments. I'm just messing with you, buddy. Yeah, hired Paul to read the comments. Only 1 hour, you're giving Roman a lot of cred. Yeah, don't know if that's enough time. It is not. But anyway, I've got a list of, okay, so we'll talk more about these wrestling action figures. Like here's a couple more. These are Rey Mysterio Jr. He got the big 619 on there. That's like one of his finishing moves, the 619. So a couple different I got to turn him around. Oh, and then so this is Rey Mysterio Jr., not to be confused with Ray Nashsterio Jr. Ray Nashsterio from the Nashville Flippers right there. This is my character I have back here with, Commonwealth Hudson and there's Old Scream Flips, and I've got FJ Mack is back there, and just all my little toys. Um, my poor man's Animan right there. I've got but yeah, right. Oh, and there's my El Luchador. That's my El Luchador mask right there. That I wear. Good morning, Danny. Pickwall Resellers is here. Good to see you, my friend. So I've got some Ray Nashsterio here. 3 different John Cena figures. These are all different ones. There's a 2010 from Mattel. There's another 2010 from Mattel, and what is this guy right here? He is. It doesn't really matter what year he is. I don't even see him in my listing. What the heck? Oh yeah, there he is right there. He's a 2003. He's wiggles around there. And when you're looking for action figures, a lot of the ones that you want to do, those Elite series ones that kind of bend in the middle, some of them, the more articulation you can have to your wrestling figures, the better off that you are. Or they, usually sell higher. They're the higher dollar ones. All of these have been around for a while. Now, I try to pick up wrestling action figures when I'm out at the yard sales when I see them, for pretty cheap. But I had made a deal, and that's why some of these have been sitting around for a while. I had made a deal with the lady. I was at a yard sale, and she had a bunch of stuff in boxes on a shelf that she didn't have out for the sale. And I'd spotted something in one of the boxes, like, oh, what's all this stuff back there? She's like, oh, I just didn't have time to get any of this stuff out. And there was like some tables and stuff set up in front of it, or like some furniture. And I was like, can I take a look at it? Sure. So I started moving the furniture out of the way and pulling out boxes of stuff. And there was video game stuff in there. There was some old like vintage toys and stuff, but there was a whole box of wrestling action figures. There was probably 30 or 40 figures in there. There was a wrestling ring. There were some other, different pieces, parts that would come with the ring. And I was like, oh, is this for sale? She's like, sure. I was like, how much you want for it? She's like, I don't know. Does $10 seem fair? Well, it seems fair to me. Sure. And then I give it yeah, that sounds fair. I would do that, which already I'm like, oh, get the $10 out, Ken, give it to her. But I bought a bunch of stuff from her that day that I pulled off the shelf. She was happy to get rid of it. She just hadn't had time to get it out on the tables and such yet. So it was almost like a little private pick within a pick. I was the only one that had got to see that stuff. And like I say, I bought a number of really good items from her that day. Most of that stuff had been listed because that was not this last summer, but the summer before. So a lot of these figures, as you can see, they've been around for a while. And because they're not very high value, all of the really good ones sold pretty quickly. And I made, a bunch of money off of that. Yeah, since he had some rivalry with the Browns back in the day, let's see. And Patrick will cheer for the Browns. Now, I don't know. Patrick, he may be a Cincinnati fan. Next season, Cleveland Super Bowl will be in Cleveland. Man, wouldn't that be great? I'd have to try to get tickets. Man, the Super Bowl tickets were just ridiculous. Steelers all the way. Patrick, I thought we were friends. I can put sports aside and still be friends with a guy for sure. And so anyway, these figures, does anybody watch wrestling at all? I know this is probably, how about some Sheamus? Here's a couple different Sheamus. Sheamus with his red mohawk. The Celtic Warrior. That's a pretty cool figure. And these are, vary, and let me see what are some of these. Just I'll tell about them real quick. That's a 2017, so he's not too old, 5-6 years old. And another Sheamus here is dun, 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 dun. It doesn't I can't find him either. Oh yeah, he's a 2010. He's a 2010 Sheamus right there. In pretty good shape. Most of these are in pretty good shape. Um Browns actually beat the Bengals, but the last game of the season to them. Billsy Bear is here. Good morning, Billsy Bear. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Let me see. I'm just gonna go through these because really the figures are kind of insignificant to what I'm doing. The Rock, can you smell what I'm cooking? The Rock is going to be in WrestleMania or part of WrestleMania this year. I don't really actively watch wrestling that much, but here's the all-time WrestleMania champion, The Undertaker, right there with still got his vest or his big coat thingy on there. That's a pretty cool figure. I am a real American. Let's see if we can get him now. Woo! Well, he don't woo. That's Ric Flair. Wait. Woo! Ric Flair. He's one of my favorites. The Hulkster, right there, action figure. This guy right here. I had never remembered this guy. Hideo Itami Kenta. Hideo Itami Kento, something like that. Kenta. But there's that guy right there. One of my favorites is The Rock did start the Daytona 500. He was the grand marshal for the Daytona 500 this last week, kind of pitching some of that stuff that he's doing with the WrestleMania and stuff. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. New Orleans next year, so you can stay at my place when the Browns are playing. Oh, that would be cool. I'm going to take you up on that, Chris. I'm going to take you up on that. If the Browns make it to the Super Bowl next year in New Orleans, I don't know if I'll be able to afford a ticket to the thing, but I'm sure we could tailgate outside the stadium. Would be cool. Yeah, The Undertaker was always one of my favorites for sure. AT&T is killing me today. Anyone else having service issues? I have Spectrum Mobile, which uses like the Verizon towers and all of their stuff. So it seems to be pretty stable for me, but yeah, it's always a pain when you're having trouble with your service. Yeah, Chris offered because he knows the odds. It's probably not going to happen. T-Mobile for the win, says Chris. Josh, yes, there are outages. I have Verizon, but didn't notice any issues. So AT&T may be having some trouble. Here's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time is Bret the Hitman Hart. His arms are a little floppy, but I think that's part of what he's supposed to do. And so I got all these. I should have stacked these up here so people could see them behind me. I just got a big old pile of wrestling figures. Oh, that guy wasn't listed. Oh, here's this one. Anybody remember Conan? This guy has he's pretty articulated in this stuff, but he has this little I don't know if you can see that. This little like thing on the back, and his arms are real swingy, and so you can like battle with him. Pow, 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 Conan, he's and then get all these different cool poses when you flip him back and forth. I'm having trouble with it. I'm trying to do. Look at the chat. There we go. There we go. I should beat the microphone. Beat the microphone up. I should get another guy. Who's he going to beat up? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anyway, that's enough of that silliness. But anyway, yes, the Hitman. My favorite wrestler of all time. My favorite wrestler of all time, though, it has to be who was the Hitman's tag team partner. Well, I remember he used to be with in the Hart Foundation with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. They were tag team partners for quite a while. Is that the known nationwide issue? It's an infrastructure attack. Uh-oh. Yikes. Man, that's not good on a weekend that you're traveling, Josh, that you're going to be, at that Planes to Profit event all weekend. That would stink if you were having trouble with your phone. Maybe just put the phone down and enjoy the event. So I don't know if I was right there, if that was the answer. Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil. But anyway, so these wrestling figures, I decided to take them all down because WrestleMania is coming up. Again, I talked about 2 weeks ago, I think, when I did the Easter plush, of trying to be a little bit proactive on things. With WrestleMania is in April. So if I end all of these now, and I said, this is my thoughts. So let me know in the chat here if you think I'm wrong in my, I'm taking these down now a couple months ahead of time so that I will relist them now. They'll get a fresh peek while people are, starting to see stuff about the WrestleMania. And then they will automatically relist there towards the end of March or whatever, the 30 days is from now. And that will be a few weeks before WrestleMania. Now, there's not a lot of these guys except for The Rock or whatever. I don't know. Is John Cena in WrestleMania? Is he still even in wrestling? I haven't watched for quite a while. But I figure, wrestling stuff in general, anytime there's a WrestleMania coming up, may sell. That's my Mick Foley. Mick Foley was probably not, I don't think he and Bret Hart, they wrestled for sure, but not as partners. I think that the solar eclipses caused all the outages and aliens. Of course, it's always the aliens. Yes, Patrick needs some aliens in his life. Oh, wouldn't you love to just all of a sudden? I've been watching. Does anybody remember the movie Stargate? And then they had like Stargate SG-1. They had Stargate Atlantis, Ark of Truth, all those different series. I have been going back through on through Amazon Prime and watching. I started the whole series of Stargate SG-1 again because I had seen the movie come on, and then I started watching the episodes from the first season. I'm almost done with season 4 right now, and I think there's like 10 seasons altogether. So I got a lot of watching. Yes, Roman, I agreed. Roman needs to do comedy. Maybe that's what you do. Stand up mic night on Saturday nights, talk to your guests for a little bit and then just do some comedy for the rest of the evening. Yeah, reselling is comedy on its own. Yeah, pretty much reselling writes its own material for sure. There's it's like one of the things that I noticed, it made me laugh anyway, is you ever notice when you're looking up an item and you're doing like sold comps on stuff and somebody has like the very first thing in their title is like rare or somewhere in their chart is like, oh, this, you know, this rare. I picked up the one guy that I don't know his name. You know, oh, there's this rare Brett the Hitman Hart action figure. And then as you're doing your soul comps, you look down and there's like, you know, 250 of them listed. It's like, it's not so rare if there's that many listed. I would expect, you know, the first thing, ooh, I got a rare one. I'm searching and the first one is up as rare. Ooh, this might be worth something. It's not worth anything because there's like 400 more of them listed and then like 4 sold or something. So most of these don't have a good sale through rate. So what I did, I ended them all and I went through, I checked my listings to make sure stuff was good. I checked some pictures and that sort of stuff. I don't have a lot in them. I actually have in my custom SKU field that I have maybe 50 cents a piece in any of these. So I went through, regardless of the price, whether it was high, much more. Some of them I had listed, you know, near 20 bucks, you know, some $13, $14. A lot of them were just down $9.99 as far as the figures go based on the comps. As I was recomping some of them, that is a little high. Some of them only sell for like $6 or $7. But what I did was I just basically went through and I put them all at 10 bucks, $9.99, $9.99 on all of these. And I'm going to relist them to get that bump. So maybe some of those ones that had a little bit higher value, that'll be a good deal. But I'm also going to run a sale. I'm going to run a sale in just this category right here and try like probably a week-long sale or so and see if that reduced price will even move some of these along because they've been sitting around for a while. And I don't know. To me, that seems like a good strategy. I've tried that on other things with some success. And so let me know your thoughts on that. So I thought on this show, what I would do is, it's kind of why I just been ripping through the thing, what they are, is I thought I might set up my sale. I don't know if any of you do sales. I'd like to know that. Are many people doing sales on a regular basis, or promotions on items? I know sometimes those are hot button topics, you know, whether you know, don't give your money to eBay or, well, you're not going to sell anything if you don't promote. You know, there's those different camps and what to offer as a sale. Oh, wait, I wanted to show this before I did this. Okay, so I've got this plastic tub that's on my shelf that has all these action figures in it. Oh, and I did find one, this guy. This is another one of these guys that has a little button on the back. I never heard of this. Hack, H-A-K? I don't even know what that guy is. But he wasn't listed at all. So that's another reason why I'm going through all of my inventory is I am finding stuff when I go through certain tubs and things like that that for some reason are not listed. I don't know why that is. Because, you know, I list it, then I put it in a particular tub. I put it on my shelf. I put it in certain places. I'm not sure why after a while that gets either taken down or maybe it was in an end and relist sort of a situation where I didn't catch all of them or whatever. But that guy got a relist. But look at this in the bottom of this tub. I don't know. Can you see those? They're hands. They're like fingers. I don't know if I put that up closer. They're fingers, you know, off the hands of a figure. So they're just laying in the bottom of my tub, which means all of these have all their digits are accounted for right there. So that means that these are, I must have sold some action figures at one point that were missing some fingers. Now, I never had any feedback from anybody or anybody that wanted to do a return on an item. I try to check everything as I'm packing stuff up, make sure that I hadn't missed anything in a listing or something hadn't happened to it in storage. But I got some extra fingers. Maybe I should list the fingers. Wonder what I could get for. I could list that miscellaneous wrestling action figure fingers. It's just got. They apparently still had their thumbs. I don't know. Maybe that's why somebody didn't notice. But headless Luke, I am your father. Way back in the day when Jill used to work at another location before she had started her own practice and stuff. Yeah, super inside joke. Somehow there was this Star Wars action figure, and it was Luke Skywalker, but he didn't have a head. They didn't know where his head was, and so it was headless Luke. They called him headless, and headless Luke, I am your father. It was hilarious back in the day because headless Luke used to show up, in somebody's desk drawer, or he'd be on a shelf in the bathroom, or they would move him all around the office and just have fun with headless Luke. Yeah, I find sometimes the accessories and parts go for more than a complete figure. Yes, I have seen that before. Some of the guys that have, like extra jackets or capes, or sometimes they have like they're wrestlers, but I'll call them weapons. They might, maybe you had a hacksaw Jim Duggan that had like a big 2x4 or something like that, or somebody that normally had props would be Jill just sent Josh, if you are still here, Bama Jaybird, Jill just sent me a message here that was on Facebook. Just a heads up, there seems to be a nationwide outage issue to where AT&T customers are not able to make phone calls. So if you are still watching, it is a known issue. Thank you, Jill. Jill's always on it. Jill's always on it in the background. Patrick says, I have sold several Serpentor's dagger for $20 a pop. Yeah, any sort of an action figure, not necessarily wrestling, but some of the guns, some of the tools, some of the accessories, some of the other wrestling stuff that I have that's not listed yet, like wrestling rings, and some of the rings, like you can sell the ring post or the ring ropes that go around separately. And I have a number of things like steps that go up to the rings, stretchers, ladders from like ladder matches, things like that. And to sell all of those separately. And yeah, you can make pretty decent money on some of those, especially if it's a rare piece or somebody's missing that they're looking for a particular. Sometimes they're a little more long tail because you have to wait for that right buyer to come along. Roman said he bought a bunch of wrestling figures and separate accessories last year. They have been selling consistently. Very cool. Yes. It's affecting all the carriers. Oh, I'll have to keep an eye on that. And so anyway, I am forgetting what I was talking about. There's Glenn anyway. Good morning. SSKPromo. The Swamp Picker Glenn is here. Good to see you. eBay just released a statement that due to cellular outages, it will shut down all their servers for a month. Yeah. Any excuse that eBay can take on that. But so all of these action figures, I got to move along with this, I guess. All of these action figures, I am pricing them at $9.99, regardless of their value, just because some of them I want to move along, get out of the store, generate some sales, And I am going to list those right now. I have them all in my drafts here. I'm going to list them. There's 16 all of them all together. So I guess it's like 10 versus 16. I would normally take offers. I always have offers set up on this, but I did go in and bulk edit to not take offers on them because I am going to run a sale. And usually when I'm running some sort of a sale, I will take off my offers because generally the sale is enough that it's down to a price where I don't want to have to deal with even lower lowball offers. So I am going to list all of those right now. So that's 16 of those action figures, all for $9.99. And what I'm going to do is in my whole wrestling category, I'm going to run a 10% off sale, which is going to put these all at about $8.99. And I've been connected, Josh says, I've been connected to my wife's Wi-Fi to get service. She's on FirstNet because of being a nurse. Okay, that works out well, at least for your trip. It's separate networks for first responders. So far, we'll have a map to travel by. Oh yeah, I guess that would be a real big problem if you were relying on GPS and AT&T or any carrier and weren't able to. You have to do the old fashioned, get the big map out and the atlas or whatever you would use, the big folded map. When's the last time anybody actually used a folded map or an atlas? Now, I'm not talking about my dad, because my dad next door, he has like an atlas like right by his chair. It's like, oh, I wonder how far it is to Omaha, Nebraska. And he's looking, oh, right here. Oh, it looks like it's going to take you about 12 hours. My dad's old school directions. I have to have I have zero. Is there anything less than zero? I have negative 0 sense of direction. I cannot get anywhere. It's horrible. It's I get lost. And my folks live right next door. Some days I like come out the back door and I'm like, which way do I go to go home? It's just like my sense of direction is that horrible. Yeah, there you go. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook just reached out to directly to Patrick and said that the marketplace is still available and is working as intended. Atlases sell good. I have sold several for like 25 to 50 bucks. I did not know that. I imagine, yeah, maybe somebody looking for, because there's always new roads that are being built. There's always new cities, new developments, new whatever. Maybe somebody that's looking for the history of the roadways. I don't know that an atlas would sell good, but hey, good. There you go. Look for atlases. Pick up some atlases. 25 to 50 bucks. Yeah, 33 years and Ken can't find my street. Exactly. I've driven to Jill's house thousands of times, and every time it's like, oh, if I got to take like maybe there's a detour. If there's a detour, I'm done. I am done. I can't get anywhere. Oh, Ken, I have an atlas without Wyoming in it. Fred is right. Yes. I thought that button was with Bill Gates. Good to know it has moved. Yes. So anyway, I'm gonna run a sale on these things. I'm gonna do that. So I might share my screen here, just to kind of show what I would be doing. Which one is this now? Let's see what happens if I bring this up. So that was my managed drafts screen that I was on. So when I'm going to set up this sale, here, I'm going to go over here to the marketing tab. This is from my seller hub. I'm going to go to the marketing tab and I'm going to do promotions right here. Oh, I got to cover up my chat here for a second. And I'm going to click this blue button here on the right that says create a promotion and go down to sale event and markdown. And over here on the left, it asks you what sort of discount that you want to do. I'm just going to do a 10% on these, 10% off of each item. And then down in the lower right corner, it wants you to select your items. Oh, hey, that's new. When that comes up, there used to be like the two different categories, create select items or create rules. And it used to be, they must have changed it. It used to be in the select items, it was like 500 items that you could list. And it was 10,000 on the create items promotion. And now it's 2,000 items and 20,000 items. Now I don't have that many of either one. So some of the differences that create the rules, it will also add in new items as they are listed, which is a little bit different. And you have a little bit more control over the different types of inventory or what you want to do with your listings. But I'm just going to do the select items one over here. And now I have store categories. I don't know if any of you use your own store categories. It helps me with my inventory. It helps me do stuff just like this, running sales where things are not just the eBay categories, where I don't have to go search out and find all the different eBay categories. So under the category right here, I am going to choose the store categories. And I'm going to go down to, I have one that's like wrestling and wrestling action figures. And I'm going to click on that. And I'm not going to filter. There are filters here that you could filter by the price of the item or how many days that it was on the site. I'm just going to do every bit of my wrestling item inventory. And so in that, I have 21 items. I had 16 of those action figures that just came up, but I have some of those in my last show that you saw. If you were here and watched my wrestling, My Deathpile show about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I have some wrestling DVDs. I have this Hulk Hogan Hulkamania Frisbee, some shirts. I did sell one of the glasses, one of the Andre the Giant big Stein. I sold that. And so you see all of my wrestling action figures have shown up here. And I am going to click the checkbox here so that it grabs all of those items. And then come down to the bottom and confirm the selections. So that has all of those items that are in there, and I can kind of review some of the stuff and change some information there. But I'm going to save and review. And now it's going to come up and ask me more stuff about the sale. There's the sale event name that's at the top. And this first one is just for your own. Sometimes that doesn't keep up with my typing. The first one is just for your own reference. Like, what do you want to call that sale? So when you look down through all your sales and promotions, you'll be able to tell what it is. I'm just going to call this one wrestling items. And then there's a spot here where you could edit some of the items. You could add or edit another, add another discount level. And then include skipped items when they qualify. Keep the items in the sale. I just usually leave both of those checked. I'm going to tell it to start this sale right now. And I am going to run it. It always defaults to basically about a month for the sale. But I'm only going to run this sale right now for about a week. I'm going to run it to the end of the month, which is the 29th, because it is a leap year. I just checking the chat here. Oh, that's right. You tore it out. Jill tore. She had an atlas. She redid this table, Jill. I've said that before. Jill is a master repurposer. She has this uncanny ability to look at something and go, oh, I could make that to something else. I could dress that up. I could add some things to it. And she did this. She had a table that she uses for like her break room table, and she repainted it. She repaired some stuff that was on it, sanded it all down, and then like did put all of these different like photographs and old postcards and well the page out of Wyoming. It was all Wyoming themed, and then did like the clear coating over the top of it and stuff. Just really, really a cool table. So her atlas, if you're going to go to Wyoming and your AT&T service doesn't work, don't borrow Jill's atlas. Josh is saying he's been pretty aggressive with offers lately. Seems to be helping sales some. Yeah. Anytime you get those sales and can get them moving. Plus, I always struggle with that about whether I'm leaving money on the table on an item that, comps at a certain price, whether I should take it. But, I look at my buy cost. What do I have in it? I'm still going to make that profit. And I also think there are two schools of thought as far as I do this full time. And so am I leaving money? It's leaving money on the table versus putting food on the table. And, I need those sales. I need to, keep a steady cash flow, even if I'm taking, a little bit of a hit or, it's still profit. So is it a hit? You might not be getting as much as the retail market value is on something, but I will definitely take those offers and entertain offers and yeah, definitely, as Josh is saying here, been pretty aggressive on offers lately. But back over here to my screen, I'm going to end this sale on February 29th at we'll let it go all day, so it'll be 11:30 p.m. that night. Now down in the sale event description, that's what it is. This is what the public will see. And I'm just going to call this now. I don't know if any of you do the sales and stuff. I don't know how important that sales event description is. Is it like a YouTube video where the title is very, very important, to get people attracted? I'm not sure. So if anybody wants to weigh in on that as far as how they feel important of a sale title is, I'm just putting, all wrestling inventory on sale. Roman says he just put sale in there only. Okay. In the event description field. Interesting. And so do you run sales quite often, Roman? Do you run them just periodically? This one I'm choosing this particular category. And only selling in that category. A lot of times I'll run a sale on my whole store. I just came off right in the just last weekend I was running a big like 30% off plush sale, but I had a really high promotion. I did like a 20% promotion on that. Oh yeah, so here, I will share this if I can. This was let me finish this sale, Jill, and then I will do that. So in this part right here, you got to choose a photo, and it'll pull some photos. I think this Hulkamania Frisbee is a good look for that. And so usually at the end, I give it one last once over. Wrestling items, I'm taking 10%. I've got my proper start date. I'm going to start it now. And my end date. And oh, I did spell inventory wrong. So see, that's why I check back through stuff. All wrestling inventory on sale. Got the picture there, and I'm going to launch that. So I listed those items, and then I'm putting them on sale right away. Um, Let me stop this screen here. And yeah, Roman runs them often. Yeah, I try to have something on sale. I'll do special sales, and then in my eBay store where they have that banner section, um, that you can use to promote like a sale or a group or whatever. I always, like, say when I was running that plush sale, I would go change that banner out to, plush and that sort of stuff. So if somebody was going through my store, they would see, oh, hey, that looks cool. There's a sale. Let's go see what plush. So I will probably do that. And actually, I should have thought about that, um, to show how I would modify that banner and such. Um, and and there is Chad showing up in the quirky picker. I don't think I've ever ran a sale before. But Chad, it is something definitely to look into. I've moved a lot of product with stuff going on sale. Some people run a sale constantly, some people do special stuff. Um, but yeah, it's definitely an avenue to look down. And I will throw out with Chad, we were talking about, other podcasts there earlier, two old guys, locker room podcasts. Chad Quirky Picker, along with Dennis, the Free King Flipper, they have a new podcast that they just started. Um, and it is called the Full Time Flippers Podcast. Go search that on YouTube, Full Time Flippers Podcast. Maybe I will. Let me see if I can find it right here, real quick. Full Time Flippers Podcast. Um, oh, now it started up. I don't know if you can hear that, but they put out their first episode uh earlier earlier this week. Yeah, like 3 days ago. Um, Really good show. Really good first show. Um, Let me see. Am I on the right page? Something makes me think I'm not on the right page. Um, Let me search that again because I wanted to put full time. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Down in the description, if you haven't checked out Full Time Flippers, they got one episode down. They're looking to build subscribers and kind of build on this thing. Go click on that and check out their episode and see upcoming stuff. I did not know Dennis, the Free King Flipper, so kind of got to meet him through the podcast, and and so that's pretty cool. He seems like a pretty good dude, pretty knowledgeable. As a seller, you know, full time. Obviously, he's full time, or the show would be a farce. People would be like, "Wait a minute, full time flippers, and you're part time. What's up with that?" But uh, which is like the reseller clickbait podcast. We might be resellers, we might not be. We're just clickbaiting stuff out there. We don't know. Um, uh, Going to learn a lot more about us next week. Oh, cool. A little more in depth. Yeah, in this episode, the first episode they covered, I think, pretty much every topic you could in reselling. Little tidbits of this and that. So it'll be cool to see if they do some deep dive stuff. But hey, I was talking there about Jill. Let me see if I can. So this about her repurposing and where her atlas went. If you can see that right there, that is the original look of the table, kind of just a cruddy old wooden table. And then this is the finished product that she did. She's got it painted like this cool turquoise color. She used, I don't know if you can see in there, like she used like these bandanas and stuff, and like did like the Mod Podge stuff. She put some new hardware on the front, and then the top of it. if that will focus. The top of it, like I say, that's all kind of clear coated on there. Different things about Wyoming. Um, Jill's mother and father went and they worked on a ranch out in Wyoming for several summers, like 8, 9, 10 years. They would go work on this ranch every summer for the majority of the summer. And so there's a lot of photos from that, a lot of just good memories. And so, Jill took this table right here and turned it into this. Just very, very cool. She is very talented at that. I don't know where she finds the time. I guess no sleep. You get 3 hours of sleep every night. You have plenty of time in the day to do stuff. And there we go. Couple more subs there for you. Thank you, Ping, for subbing there to my friend Chad and hopefully new friend Dennis coming up. But so anyway, that's pretty much the show for today. Wrestling items, decided to take them down because they've been sitting in the store for a while. You got WrestleMania coming up in a couple of months, which these will kind of get their kind of refreshed right before the time that WrestleMania comes up. And then I ran a sale in all of my wrestling items, which is not a lot. There's like what I say, I had 21 items or whatever. Uh yeah, here, Jill is one amazing woman. So talented. Oh, it helps if you click on it where everybody else can see. And but so we'll see. We'll see if it pays off. We'll see if I have any sales before Ken versus 10 next week. I'm not hopeful, but it's a strategy. It's a strategy that I'm trying to do. It's part of getting my inventory listed, getting my death pile beat down, whether it's unlisted stuff or refreshing inventory that's been up there for a while. I think it's always important. Again, you know, this guy right here, this guy, oh, I should put him against Conan because they're both the same thing. Let's do this. Let's get these. You see how aggressive I get right there? I can't make it work. I need to have it's like thumb wrestling or something. Oh wait, maybe I can do that. Anyway, that's dumb. This guy wasn't listed. He's in the tub. He's not listed. I have been finding other inventory like that. So, at this time of year when it's the tax season, if depending on how you do your inventory and stuff, it's always good every now and then just to go look and see what you have, what's listed, if it is listed, that sort of stuff. So if you take anything out of this show today, hopefully, yeah, Chad, if you are not doing sales, I found it to be a good vehicle to move some stuff along. And a lot of that depends on your pricing and how you're pricing stuff. Maybe you're low, maybe you're at the bottom of the pile. You don't need to run a sale. But if you have some stale inventory or whatever that you want to try to move along, a sale is a good way to do it. And there's a lot of different avenues one can go down. But Chad, if you want to kick it around, if you've never done one before and you want to chat, hit me up. And I was hoping to see Keith Vintage Sports Flips in here today. I wanted to ask him a question, but I think we're going to end this one up. We're going to be done. I am going to get done, go next door. A lot of days, my pop will fix some food after we're done, like some breakfast, usually maybe some bacon and eggs or some potatoes or the McFreddy, the famous McFreddy that he makes. And so I'm going to go do that and going to help them list they have a portable dishwasher that they're trying to move out. They got a new cabinet to go in that place and going to list that on Facebook Marketplace and see if we can move that out by this weekend. So yes, and Take care, everyone, says Roman. And Ping, have a great week, everyone. I think we're gonna end it on that. That is great. Thank you, Ping. You enjoy your day as well. And we will see you next week on 10 versus 10.